The Shadow of Infamy, written by Eric Larson. This is a tale that delves deep into the dark recesses of human nature, exploring the enigmatic figure known only as X. He was a ghost, a whisper, a legend that transcended the boundaries of reality and myth, a shadow that haunted the dreams of the world's most powerful. His presence was felt in the corridors of power and the darkest alleys alike. His name, whispered in hushed tones, sent chills down the spines of hardened criminals and seasoned lawmen alike. The mere mention of X could silence a room, his reputation preceding him. He was known only as X, and he was the most notorious man on Earth. His identity was a closely guarded secret, a puzzle that no one could solve. X's crimes were as audacious as they were varied. From high-profile heists to intricate financial frauds, his criminal portfolio was unmatched. He was a master thief. His exploits whispered in the hallowed halls of the world's most secure museums and banks. No vault was too secure, no alarm too sophisticated. Governments trembled at his ability to manipulate global financial markets, leaving chaos and economic ruin in his wake. His actions could topple economies and destabilize nations. He was a phantom, a specter who moved through the world with chilling ease, always one step ahead of the law. His ability to vanish without a trace was legendary. His motives remained a mystery, shrouded in the same veil of secrecy that cloaked his identity. Was he driven by greed, revenge, or something more profound? Some whispered of a noble goal, a Robin Hood of the modern age, redistributing wealth and exposing corruption. They saw him as a dark hero, fighting against the injustices of the world. Others saw him as a force of chaos, reveling in the disruption he sowed. To them, he was a villain, a harbinger of anarchy. Whatever his reasons, one thing was certain: X was a force to be reckoned with. His actions left an indelible mark on the world, a legacy of infamy. And then, in a stunning turn of events, the world learned that the elusive X had finally been caught. The news sent shockwaves across the globe as people grappled with the reality of his capture. The trial of X became the most watched event in history, a spectacle that captivated millions. The world waited with bated breath to uncover the truth behind the man who had been a shadow for so long. As the gavel fell, marking the end of an era, the legend of X continued to loom large, a shadow that would never truly fade. A phantom's rise. X's origins were as much a mystery as the man himself. He emerged from the shadows, a figure cloaked in enigma, leaving behind a trail of questions and whispers. Rumors swirled through the darkest corners of the internet, each more outlandish than the last. Some said he was a ghost, a digital phantom who could manipulate the very fabric of the web. Some claimed he was a former intelligence operative, disillusioned with the shadows he once inhabited. They spoke of a man who had seen too much, done too much, and had turned his back on the very institutions he once served. Others whispered of a childhood marked by tragedy, fueling a desire for vengeance against a system he saw as broken. A boy who had lost everything, now a man determined to make the world pay. His early exploits were small, almost insignificant. Petty thefts and minor cons, each one a piece of a larger puzzle that only he could see. A string of daring art heists across Europe, each piece seemingly chosen at random. But to X, there was always a method to the madness, a hidden pattern that eluded even the sharpest minds. Then came the whispers of manipulated stock markets, fortunes made and lost overnight. X had moved beyond mere theft. He was now playing a game of high stakes, where entire economies could be swayed by his hand. With each successful operation, X's legend grew, as did the price on his head. He became a ghost story told in hushed tones, a name that struck fear into the hearts of those who thought themselves untouchable. Governments, their pride wounded by this elusive adversary, pooled their resources. They could not allow such a figure to continue undermining their authority. A dedicated task force was assembled, comprised of the best minds from intelligence agencies across the globe. They were the elite, the ones who had never failed a mission, until now. They called themselves the Hunters, and their sole mission was to bring X to justice. They studied his every move, dissected his every action, but X was always one step ahead. But the Phantom was always one step ahead, his intricate network of informants and collaborators seemingly able to anticipate the Hunter's every move. It was as if he had eyes and ears everywhere. For years, the game of cat and mouse played out on a global stage. From the bustling streets of Tokyo to the quiet alleys of Prague, X left his mark, always just out of reach. X, the ever-elusive shadow, always managing to slip through the net. He was a master of disguise, a chameleon who could blend into any environment. The hunters, frustrated but relentless, continued their pursuit, driven by the hope that one day they would finally catch their prey. They knew that to catch a phantom, they would have to become shadows themselves.